Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Another gear review today. Now, this is actually a sling. It is a different form of sling. So I've actually done some videos recently about different slings I've had, 2-point slings, how I run my slings. I actually did a video, which is how I came across this on this, which is the sling hook. If you want to go and watch a video of that, go check out the channel. But basically this hook is going to sit on your shoulder or just behind it, which means the sling doesn't cut into your neck. Now, on one of those videos, one of the people who was watching wrote a comment and said, hey, I don't use like a sling hook kind of thing on there. I actually use a 1-point sling that is attached directly to the MOLLE on my plate carrier. And I was like, okay, that's quite interesting. Like, it's not something that I've used before or like kind of come across before. I've used like standard 1-point slings and I liked 1-point slings. I have actually kind of tended to go more towards 2-point slings recently, just for that kind of support, and actually it doesn't kind of like dangle around if I go to my secondary. But he actually like recommended one that he was using. I actually went and checked that one out and I was like, I like this, but actually it was only for, I think it was only had like a hook version, and I use QD swivel releases on all of my replicas. So I was like, oh, that's kind of annoying that I would have to like do that and not have it. So I found a different version of it that was very well reviewed, and this is by a company called United States Tactical. This is their MOLLE shock webbing sling. And so the idea of this is basically it attaches to the MOLLE on the back of your plate carrier or something else that would have MOLLE on your back, maybe a backpack, something like that. And then you have a 1-point sling which comes over your shoulder, and you can then use that basically to manipulate your weapon, hold on to it, and then I think it's going to be easier to switch shoulders just because it's going to have that kind of like that feeling on it. I'm going to try installing it on here on my plate carrier just to see what it's like. We'll use one of my replicas. This is all airsoft on here, but obviously this applies for if you're using real steel, whatever it is. This is more just a kind of test of it. So cost of this thing was $48. They come with a couple of different versions. So they have a black version and they have this in like their FDE kind of tan color. It's actually got some installation instructions on the back. They also have an option which has a hook, kind of like that design. So you don't have to have something which has a QD, but actually on this one, they've got a hook to a QD. What I didn't realize when I ordered it, but when I've just received it, I have, is that this is sewn in. So it isn't the case where you can kind of like unthread this and then decide to put a hook on here. If you're ordering the QD one, it's QD. If you're ordering the hook one, you could hook onto a QD. But if you are going QD, it is going to be QD's the one you want. Build quality of this is really nice. It is quite thick. I have very, very thin slings generally. It's obviously got like an elastic kind of area here. So when I pull this, it's got a good amount of like strength in terms of the tension, but it is moving quite nicely. This obviously is like a QD release, so that's kind of cool that you can just plug that on and off as you need it. This is plastic, but it is pretty solid feeling. Yeah, cost of this was $48. I think the other one, which doesn't have this QD, I think is slightly less, the HK hook, that's $30. So it's an extra $18 basically to get this, which is quite a lot. Okay, so let's get my plate carrier. We'll move this out of the way. Let's get my plate carrier. I'll probably leave this on for now, and then I can kind of take it off, but that's if we don't need it, but that's the swivel hook. The other thing that I could do, obviously, is run it through my shoulder pad, which might be kind of a good thing. The other thing I was thinking, which probably we'll get to in a second, but I could actually just leave this attached, have it go through the shoulder pad, and then I just have this bit of plastic here, which I could like attach or disattach if I was using a 2-point or 1-point, or, you know, not necessarily having to use that actual, like I could use another sling with that in place, and I don't think it would be too bad. I've got some some MOLLE cuts, which are under here, which I've got this back panel on here at the moment from Cry, and I think what I'll try and do is basically just hook this through here, because there is a kind of couple that are slightly exposed there, which should work for it. We'll have a look and we'll see. But it looks like I have to put this on the reverse way. So it says remove slide buckle or buckle connector. So I think what I'm going to have to do is take this off, and then I'm going to have to thread it through. So this guy's going to come off. This is going to be hard to get it back on, I think. Okay, it is definitely pretty tough to like pull this through. It's almost like that's fine once you're through it, but I've got to remember to put it maybe like on the second rung up, which is where it was. This guy is a lot easier to get off, and that is going to be that way. So we'll put that way down. Okay, so now if I want to have this like that, I think what I'm going to have to do is thread from the bottom up, it looks like. Yep. Okay, so we'll thread from the lower one up. And this plate carrier is not too hard to do it. Obviously with the back panel on it is making it harder. But because this is a Cry SPC, it's all like laser cut molle. It's very like light and open. So it actually compared, I think, isn't too bad. Okay, so it looks like I've kind of like threaded that through this way. That looks like was what I need to do. Then it says thread the single end through the clip. Okay, so that I think is going to be what we need to do. Oh, hold on. No, I don't need to do that. So I need to put this guy back on. Is that right? Yeah, I need to put this guy. Okay, sorry. So I've done that wrong. So I shouldn't have taken this off, which may explain why it was so tough to actually get it on and off. This guy's going to stay on here. Yep. So we don't need to do that. I'm then going to thread. Let me just do it the other way, maybe. I think I'm going to go this way. Trying to like work out in my head like which way things are going to be facing. Okay, so if that goes there, we'll put that there just to see where it's going to go. This I want like this, so I'm going to go this way. Hold on, no, wrong. I was right. Okay, so we're going to go, I want this to be threaded like that. Hold on. So it looks like if I've got this piece here, I'm trying to like orient it here. Sorry guys, this is a bit boring for you. So if that bit's there, we've got this going here, and it looks like this needs to come up from the bottom. I don't think it's going to matter actually as much, is it? Because this is going to be sat in behind. So what I want is that facing that way, which means that if I thread it up and through there, we want this thing facing towards, hold on one second. Sorry guys, I'm back. My nanny was just leaving and I have something for my kid that I needed to give her. Okay, so hold on. We're going to go with this. This is going to go through there like that. So it doesn't matter that much. So let's go with this way. Let's go like this under here. Sorry, this is hard to show you guys at the same time as doing this as well. That's easier. Push it like that. Thing is, it is going to be like, you know, if you're just quickly wanting to use this sling, it's not like you're going to be able to pop it on and off as easily as just like a regular 2-point or 1-point, because you're obviously attaching it to your plate carrier and not just your actual replica. Okay, so that's going to pull through. Then what I'm going to do, I think, is thread this through this way. Thread sling through the end clip and pull to tighten. Okay, so basically this is just going to go in through here now. And again, this is going to be tough. So let's pull this all the way down. Yeah, getting this off is going to be a nightmare, I think. Okay, so let's pull this the whole way through. Okay, and then we're kind of secured in there. So that's not too bad, actually, because even if I end up just running it through this bit, I think that will be fine. Okay, right, next bit, it's saying is we need to put this buckle end on, and we want this facing, again, I think, so the buckle end is going to be this way. So we're going to go like that. Okay, that's what it's saying. Then we're going to put this guy on the end here. So that's going to go like that. Doesn't matter which way on this one. Let's go this way. And this was like what, 1, 2, 3 up. That's where we had it. But obviously we can make this shorter, which is kind of nice that you can do that. See, like here, I think this is going to still help a lot, because if this is here and it's hooked, that's great. If it's this side, this is a lot nicer and like not as like cutting fabric because it's thicker, but it is still going to rub on the side of your neck. And obviously you could do what we were thinking about, which was do the hooking it underneath the shoulder pad. So I think this is going to take just a lot of adjustment, like here and there, little bits. And it may vary from replica to replica how you have it. That's going to have it about there, which we can try it out. Okay, so that is basically where it's going to be. Well, that's what we think it's going to be like right there, I think. Let me just make sure we're all good. Yeah. So that's basically what it's like. I'm going to put this on now quickly, and we'll kind of feel out how it feels and see if it's going to be something that could become part of my kit. Okay. Okay, so that's the plate carrier there. The one thing I think is going to be annoying is if this slips down, it's going to be like in a position where I'm going to have to be like trying to reach around, trying to grab it. So that might not be good. This guy's going to go on here. I think it's going to have to go through this shoulder pad though, because otherwise it's going to be just a bit of a nightmare. Okay, so that is where it hangs on here. It's kind of like slipping off to the side. If I'm using it there, I can just unclip it, use it on the other side if I want to, and reclip it in. But it feels as if it's just too tight right there. Is this rail loose? Yeah, that rail's a bit loose. I need to get that looked at. I need to tighten that up. Okay, I'm looking at that straight away afterwards. Yeah, so this is I can use it, and then this is also sitting in the way. Now, if I don't have it on this one, I'm going to go and grab a different replica and just see if it fits better on that. Because it might just be that that's a bit of an awkward one. One sec. Okay, so this is a good example. This is my Mark 18, my TM one, which I love. This is my favorite place to have a QD, like single point sling, is like on the back here. So if I attach this in here, it's solid and it's secure, and it's holding in that position. If I'm using it, it's actually pretty nicely out of the way. It's not like getting in the way fully. But if I switch shoulders, I can't do that. So I'd have to reach here. I can use this. This, if this gets lost, I'm in trouble. Let's maybe try threading it underneath there, and we'll just see if that changes anything. It definitely is better. Like, unfortunately with this one here, the CGS, it's just not very well positioned in terms of like, it's got this weird little hook. It's so weird because it's got this hook here and then it's got a QD mount built into the actual handrail. So I'm not sure why they didn't just put a QD mount on the back as well, because it's kind of like a specific stock. It's not easy to mess around with that stock. Okay, so let's quickly see if we can just thread this guy through here. And then how that works. But I could actually just make it a bit longer as well. Thinking. I'll just have that come along here a bit. It's definitely a tight. This like buckle is very hard to pull along. Okay, so that's a bit better. It's a tiny bit longer. What I might actually do is just push it right the way to the edge, and then I'll move this a bit further down. Just see how that is there. Just release it slightly. Okay, and then that's on that strength kind of tab bit. We'll try and thread this through. Remove this guy here. We're not going to need that. Goes through that part. Okay. These are aftermarket shoulder pads that I have on here. So they're not the ones that come with the Cry SPC. Those Cry SPC ones are probably a lot easier. They're a lot less padded. Okay, so that's that there. So let's see. If I put that back on, this is going to stay in place, which is good. It kind of hangs off to the side, which is quite nice. Because if I decide just to tuck this away, I could just tuck it off under here. And then it's not in the way. If I'm using this with a different sling, it's actually not getting in the way there. So I could just leave this thing attached to it and then pull it out and use it as needed. Obviously with this thing attached to it, it's going to be a bit more bulk. But if I have it on here, that's it here. So it's pretty, like it swings around, but if I'm drawing my secondary, I don't have a battle belt on right now, but if I'm drawing my secondary, I can kind of pin it with this, as that's in that spot. When I'm using it, it is like in a good place. Switching shoulders is possible, but it's not easy. And then this is quite a big clip, so I can just like move that, put it down somewhere, which is quite nice. Guys, I mean, I think it's good. I like how it has the free flow. It doesn't have the locking teeth, which some of them do have. I think it's good, guys. I mean, I think it's going to, again, depend on your playstyle. Like, I like my 2-point sling right now. But for something, you know what it would be great for is something like an SMG or something where you have a very lightweight little gun. Like, that just doesn't work because of this QD being in that location particularly well anyway. And let's try it again. But I think it's going to be better for smaller like SMG style replicas. Like if I had a QD there, it would be perfect. But because it's here, it kind of is just getting in the way of like my cheek, which is just annoying. Like, and it has some give in it, which is great. But that also might mean it bounces around a little bit. I'm really annoyed by this rail that's coming loose. I need to get looking at that and how I'm going to like tighten that. It might be the barrel nut that needs tightening. Yeah, so that's there. So I have a... I've got this, but this doesn't have a QD on it. I mean, something like that I think would be great because it just kind of will hang on, like this MP9. I'm trying to think if I have any other SMG style ones here. Actually, maybe I have a MPX. Yeah. This MPX here, the Copperhead, has got a similar kind of like location. So I think that would be really good. As in, that's there. I can drop that. I can go to my secondary. So this I think is perfect for a little SMG PDW style replica. And then even with this, like I can switch that really easily. So yeah, so maybe I'll reserve this for these PDWs because I do think that feels really good. Like that's there. And then I go to my secondary. Yeah, all right, guys. So I think it's a good product. It looks good. I think it's going to, again, depend on, you're probably watching this like, I'd never use that, or you're probably watching this saying like, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I really, really like that design. So it's kind of similar to what I thought. Like, not the most incredible game-changing thing, but actually, I think if that was what you're looking to do, it's going to work really well. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As I said, I'll put a link to this down below in the description so you can check it out. There's no affiliation. They haven't sponsored me. They haven't done anything like that. So buy if you'd like to. I've kind of given you my overview on this one. All right, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.